All right, everyone. So we're up to the final step pretty much on this ceramic coating. And I already panel prepped the rest of the panels. I'm just going to do a quick demonstration on the hood. That's the only thing that's left. I did the front bumper, the sides and everything. I just want to fast forward this video just so it's not too long. Because pretty much the panel prep step is a rinse and repeat step. And the same thing goes for the ceramic coating step. So I am using on what I have in my garage, and here I am using ADS panel prep. So this is how much I have left after I've used pretty much everything else on the whole panel. And I am using these towels. These are from Adams. I cut these about like 2 or 3 years ago and they were on sale. The problem with these is they just lint a lot, but I am running out of towels, so I am using this, and I've never used them. As you can see here, you probably see like a trail of lint. It is what it is at that point. I'm not really too worried about it. I do have 2 of the quadrants from Auto Fiber. These are one of my favorites. I always said that as well. And Auto Fiber applicator saver. And then in terms of the coating, I'll be using Kronos V2 ceramic coating. I know it doesn't have the V2 on here, but this is the V2 just because Aaron, you know, is pretty much has to use up the labels. So yeah, so let's get started. So I don't like to really directly spray onto the panel, especially if it's a little bit windy as it is at the moment. So I'll just spray on the towel and probably get really close to just get like a line or two onto the panel in itself. So I got that on the hood. The panel is cool to the touch. This does smell a little bit like peppermint, and or spearmint. It just smells good. But you just want to make sure you apply it onto the panel and spread it across. Now the great thing too about this is I like to use a damp and rinseless towel, as you saw in the polishing video. And yeah, as you saw, I like to use a damp and rinseless towel. So what that's going to help do is remove pretty much all of those polishing oils off the get-go, off rip, and that's it. And as you can see, there is a little bit of lint. It is what it is at this point. This just showing you that you can ceramic coat your vehicle if you are in a pinch. Guess what? You have to use what you got. So I'm just spraying a little bit more on the panel. It stopped, you know, stop being windy a little bit, and I am going to repeat here. So I'm just going to apply it. Now, if it is super hot outside, super humid, you don't want to do a huge, large section like I'm doing. I'm just doing this just because I am in the shade. It's only 65 degrees out here today, and I am in the shade. So that is the huge benefit of what's going on here. And it is giving me a huge amount of dwell time. Now in terms of panel prep, which one do I usually always use? You all know I like to use Veritas or Pelias panel prep from Phoenix E.O.D. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those here, so this is why I'm using ADS panel prep. Nothing wrong with their panel prep whatsoever. It's just a preference because it is a little bit grabby, but what that is just indicating is it's grabbing those polishing oils and pretty much removing it off the surface. And that is it. That is what I had to deal with the entire time. Just lint, grabbiness, but that's about it. And also the grabbiness does go with the towel that you're using. Now we're up to the ceramic coating step, and here is just gonna fly by real easy, really quick. So first off, you want to shake up your coating. I did this off screen before I did the intro video, but you want to shake it up for about like 30 seconds to a minute or so. That's about it. But I already did this off screen and it's only sat there for about 5 minutes. It's not going to mess anything up. You just really want to shake it up well. Make sure you mix those solvents or whatever that is in the coating, so that way you get the best bond possible. I'm gonna put this cap somewhere else real quick before I lose it. And I am ready to apply my ceramic coating. Now the vehicle, just a quick recap, it did get a quick 1.5 step. We removed about 50 to 60% of the swirls or scratches, but we did remove all the etching that the owner was worried about, all that sticky stuff, all that residue, except certain ones were permanent, like those bug etchings that he just let sit there for a while. And it just came out looking, as you can see, super glossy and amazing. So you're gonna prime your applicator, and I am being very liberal for the first one. I like to be heavy-handed for the first one, just so I'm not worried about having to apply any more coating than I need to afterwards. So I put about like 30-40 drops, whatever the case is, but this is enough to do this whole half of the hood, especially here that it is, again, 65 degrees. If it is hotter outside with a little bit more humidity, you want to work within your means. This coating does tend to flash pretty quickly in higher temps because it is a polysiloxane coating, and these coatings tend to be grabby a little bit in the beginning, and then they tend to, over time, pretty much just get slicker within 15-20 minutes or so. So you really want to catch this at the right time, and this does have a rainbowing effect, and I will bring you in. So as I applied it on, very nice even finish. You can go in, you know, circles, squares, straight lines. I just went back and forth. Just make sure you get even coverage, and here it's already starting to dissipate, and that is pretty much it. See here. So just make sure you get even coverage and overlap on certain panels, just in case, so that way you're not, you know, trying to be so perfect in one area. So that I already got here, just to double check, got that right there. And what I want to see is, I don't want to see 50% of it go rainbow, because pretty much what Aaron says is his coatings, the minute they're on the paint, you can wipe off within 15 to 20 seconds. It's already pretty much bonded onto the surface, which is why I love Kronos so much. And Titan Tim himself, he does this in direct sunlight in the Myrtle Beach heat. I don't know how he does it, you know, but he somehow gets it to work, and he'll do, you know, pretty much this large section. I'm not as experienced with Kronos like Tim is, so I'll just, you know, cut it in half. And now I am ready to wipe off. And I am not looking for 50% clear. I am just looking for the rainbow effect to pretty much be gone. So that is what I am looking for. And let me bring you in so you all can see what I'm talking about. Pretty much the oil slick on water is gone. All that's left is the streakiness and the, you know, the spread of the product, and that is what I'm waiting for. That, to me, I found is the best indicator. And as I said, at first it does feel grabby. You will need a little bit of pressure, not a lot, but that is the first indication. Even if the rainbow is starting to dissipate, you really want to you know, start wiping. And look at that, quick and easy. And as I said before, this coating does feel grabby at first, so don't be alarmed if you're sitting there and you're like, ah, it's hard to wipe off. And if you do get a little bit of streaking, guess what? Grab your same applicator, wipe it right across, as I have some streaking here because I let it sit for too long. And it just goes to show what Aaron said. Within 15 to 30 seconds, you're ready to wipe off. It's just going to help reactivate the coating, and you're just going to wipe off. Simple and easy as that, and no high spots whatsoever. So that is one half of the hood done. Now I like to do this section in itself, and I like to break the hood up into pretty much 4 pieces, and that is what I am doing. And one thing is, I did forget to clean this little area here with some panel prep, and I am done. So same thing goes over here. I am going to be, this time, about 15 drops. Spread it onto the hood. Just make sure you get even coverage. And it's not hard to see on a black paint. Make sure you get even coverage. As such, I like to overlap just a little bit. And as we said, 15 to 30 seconds, you're ready to wipe off. Just double check. And it's a blessing and a curse for these types of coatings, right? Because for example, you have other coatings out there that have a 5-minute window before you wipe off, like Cerakote, or G-Technic has a pretty long work time, or DIY Detail, you have 3 to 5 minutes to wipe off. For those coatings, it's a blessing and a curse. It's the same thing. It's a double-edged sword, whether you use a 30-second coating that's ready to wipe on and wipe off, or you use a 5-minute coating, you're still going to be pretty much finished at the same time. I always tell myself that it doesn't really matter. It's just more of your workflow and your work process and what you like to do first. If you like to work in smaller sections, then pretty much these coatings are for you, because sometimes if you use a another coating and say it's 5 minutes and you're having that window, sometimes you tend to forget where you left off if you don't have a SOP or a process that you've already done, and you're gonna sit there like, oh, I did these 3 panels, and where is the third panel exactly that I did? Or it just becomes a hassle. So if you like to work in smaller sections, then this coating is for you. Now, one thing I need to bring you in all to see is this coating does have a jetting effect, and I will bring you in. That's why I love this coating as well. Whoops. Why I love this coating as well. Hopefully you can see that distinct line. That is not a high spot. Remove the streaks, I remove everything. That is the jetting effect it leaves behind. And Dimitri's Garage did do a video on Kronos. And it goes to show that the 30-second wipe off was indeed all that was needed. So what I'm gonna do is work in smaller sections and wipe off within exactly 15 seconds. In terms of cure time, don't wash the vehicle for the next 7 days, 7 to 14 days. And then the second thing also is just don't let it get wet for at least 8 hours. That is pretty much what Phoenix E.O.D recommends. If you can, don't let it get wet for 24 hours. So once I'm done coating this vehicle, it's going to sit in the garage for the next 12 hours, and tomorrow is going to be a sunny day, so no worry about that. And once it's in the sun, it's going to be baking. It's going to be doing all its jazz in the sun. So pretty much it will be free for the elements 110% by the end of tomorrow. The longer you let your coating cure without getting wet, the better. And as you saw, I just applied it on and I wiped it off right away. And the coating is on the paint, guaranteed. No streaking, no nothing. As I said, if you need to work in smaller sections, that's it. And within one thing I did forget, I know this is more of like a wash and talk. Also, before I forget, this coating does pretty much get slicker, as I said, pretty slick as time goes by. So same thing around here. Box this in, and within 15 seconds right away, level off. So once I'm done with this hood, I am just gonna stop this video, and I will just show you the after result and the outro. So same thing, I'm gonna wait 5 more seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just start leveling off. Just because it is humid and it is starting to get a little bit harder to wipe off the longer I let it sit. Alright everyone, so hopefully you all enjoyed pretty much this how-to video on ceramic coat, especially using Kronos. And yeah, all the products will be down below in the description. I know some of the towels and stuff I'm not going to, it's not going to be on the House of Rags. I am just using what I have at the moment here in New York. But overall, just goes to show that you're able to wash, polish, and ceramic coat your vehicle, you know, with the limited utilities that you have left. And I will show you all the walk around once I am done. It will probably be up on the overhead. So let me know if you guys enjoy this type of video, enjoy this type of process, and let me know what you would have done different. And yeah, so I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.